We often think about progress as this slow, steady march forward. But every now and then, a single day comes along that just completely changes the game. And that's what we're talking about today. One specific day, October 16th, 2025. This wasn't just another chapter in the story of AI. Oh no, this was the day the whole book got torn up, and the rewrites started happening in real time.
Right. This wasn't just some new product launch or a little blip on the market radar. We're talking about a genuine seismic event. On this one day, the entire landscape of AI, I mean everything, from the silicon in our phones to the colossal data centers powering the cloud, and yeah, even the laws that are supposed to govern it all fundamentally shifted.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because two things happened at the exact same time that sound like they completely contradict each other. The industry fractured. It broke apart into all these specialized, competing groups. And at the same moment, it was formalized. It came under this big, unified set of rules for the very first time. So how on earth did all that happen on one Tuesday? Let's break it down.
Okay, first things first, we've got to talk about the foundation. Real power in AI boils down to three things: the cloud where it lives, the chips that do the thinking, and the capital, the cold hard cash you need to build all of it. And on this day, the race for all three just went into absolute hyperdrive.
For years, it felt like a few giant companies, you know who I'm talking about, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, they were pretty much the only game in town for cloud computing. Well, that model is now getting shattered. We're seeing specialized players pop up that are targeting very specific pieces of the AI puzzle, and frankly, they're doing it way better than the one-size-fits-all giants.
And this is what's so fascinating. You're seeing two completely different battle plans here. On one side, you've got a company like CoreWeave. They're going straight for the developers by getting rid of those infuriating data egress fees. The charges for just moving your own data around. That makes it way cheaper and faster to get work done. But then, on the other side, you've got Nebius. They're targeting the big guys, finance, healthcare, with a platform that's all about security and compliance from the ground up. One's built for raw speed, the other's built for trust. This is the fracturing of the cloud in action.
And hey, this whole fracturing thing, it's not just happening in the cloud. We're seeing the exact same split down in the hardware, the actual chips that power AI. The battle for compute isn't just one big race for the most powerful chip anymore. Nope, it's now two totally separate wars, being fought on two totally different fronts: what's on our desks and in our pockets, and what's in those giant humming data centers.
And this table just lays it all out perfectly. You've got Apple dropping its M5 chip, an absolute beast designed for on-device AI in your MacBook or iPad. It's their classic vertical integration strategy: control everything, own the consumer experience. At the exact same time, Intel announces Crescent Island. And they're not even trying to be the most powerful. Their whole pitch is best performance per dollar for one specific task in the data center. Intel's playing an open, horizontal game, which is a direct shot at NVIDIA's walled garden. Different markets, totally different philosophies.
Okay, so we've got specialized clouds and specialized chips, but the new bottleneck isn't just about the silicon anymore. It's about finding a place to plug it all in. We're talking about the actual buildings, the data centers, the power grids, the cooling systems, and on October 16th, this physical world suddenly became a massive, high-stakes financial chess piece.
$40 billion. I mean, just let that number sink in. A massive new consortium announced a deal to buy Aligned data centers for $40 billion. This isn't just a real estate play. This is a strategic move to control the physical spine of the entire AI industry.
So who's got that kind of money? Well, it's not just one company. It's like the Avengers of tech and finance assembled. You've got BlackRock, the world's biggest asset manager, teaming up with a sovereign wealth fund from Abu Dhabi. And then you throw in the world's #1 AI chip maker, NVIDIA, and a top cloud provider, Microsoft. They are literally building a vertically integrated titan to make sure they have the power and the space to run whatever comes next in AI.
So while these giants are duking it out over the plumbing, something else really cool was happening. AI started to, disappear. It was becoming less of a standalone tool that you use, and more of a hidden ingredient baked into the software and services we're already using every single day.
The huge shift here is away from general-purpose AI, a chatbot that can kind of talk about anything, to what's being called vertical AI. These are super specialized solutions, trained on unique, private data, all to solve very specific problems for very specific industries. And the key is, they're only possible because of that new specialized infrastructure we were just talking about.
Just look at Equifax. They launched an AI advisor that lets a bank analyze its entire loan portfolio just by asking questions in plain English. Now, the magic isn't just the AI model itself. The magic is that it's running on Equifax's enormous exclusive mountain of credit data. This is exactly the kind of high-stakes work that's perfect for a secure, compliance-first cloud like Nebius. And that data, that's a powerful competitive moat.
It's the exact same playbook over in real estate. Zillow rolled out a new AI suite that digs through all its user search data to predict when one of your old clients might be getting the itch to buy a new house. Then it helps the agent automate personalized follow-ups. It's using its own proprietary data to make its platform absolutely essential.
And don't think for a second this is just for digital companies. A company called Kaizen launched an AI specifically for metal manufacturers. It looks at all the inventory and chemistry data in real time to figure out the absolute cheapest mix of recycled and new metals for a given job. It saves money, it boosts sustainability. This is AI solving gnarly physical world problems where every penny counts.
At the same time, AI is not just getting into our software, it's becoming the operating system itself. OnePlus showed off its new OS, which is built around this idea called Plus Mind. It basically saves stuff you see and do on your phone, and then uses AI like Google Gemini to reason over your personal info to help you do things like plan your weekend. Your phone is no longer just a grid of apps. It's becoming a proactive, intelligent assistant, and it's all powered by those powerful new on-device chips like the M5.
So the industry is fracturing, it's specializing, but remember that second word I used at the beginning? Formalized. Because on this exact same day, the Wild West, move fast and break things era of AI development officially came to a screeching halt in the United States.
A whole stack of bills officially became law in California, putting in place the first really comprehensive, legally binding rules for AI. You've got SB 53 forcing the big AI labs to publish their safety plans. SB 243 is all about regulating AI chatbots. And other laws are tackling stuff like algorithmic price fixing and, this is a big one, making it so companies can't just blame a rogue, autonomous AI when things go wrong. The guardrails are finally here.
Now, what's really telling is how the main law, SB 53, defines what's at stake. It's laser-focused on preventing catastrophic risk. And they get very, very specific about what that means. We're talking about AI-assisted threats that could lead to mass casualties or cause over $1 billion in damage. This isn't some abstract legal theory. This law is aimed at stopping very specific, very scary scenarios.
So how does it actually work? Well, it's pretty targeted. The law only goes after the biggest players, the ones with the resources to build the most powerful AI models. It forces them to put their safety plans out in the open, it makes them report serious problems to the state, and it gives strong protections to employees who blow the whistle on safety concerns. For the biggest AI labs, the era of just regulating yourself is officially over.
But here's the kicker, the unintended consequence. Complying with all these new rules is expensive and complicated, and that creates what people are calling a compliance mode. It acts as a massive barrier for smaller startups or open source projects, and it inadvertently gives a huge advantage to the big, wealthy companies that can afford to hire armies of lawyers and safety researchers.
All right, let's pull all the way back and put these pieces together. We've seen the industry shatter into all these specialized pieces, and at the same time get wrangled by a whole new set of rules. So what does this new world actually look like? What does it all mean? Well, it brings us to this new reality, a great divergence. There are now two main roads for the future of AI. On one side, you've got the proprietary path. These are the closed, vertically integrated ecosystems built on unimaginable amounts of capital. Think Apple or that BlackRock NVIDIA data center deal. And on the other side, you've got the specialized path, a much more fragmented world of nimble, niche players and open standards. Think CoreWeave, Intel, and the open source community. And from now on, these two models are going to compete and coexist and shape everything.
And that leaves us with the final, absolutely critical question. October 16, 2025 brought accountability and it brought specialization. But in doing so, did it also put the brakes on innovation? Will the cost and the caution of this new compliance era slow down American AI development and maybe, just maybe, open the door for competitors in other parts of the world to pull ahead? That right there is the central tension that is going to define the next decade of artificial intelligence.